A quick review of graphing in a two-dimensional space. We use what we call the Cartesian plane or the XY axis system to decide where points are. These are always ordered pairs, and the order is important. It's XY. Okay, so I give you an ordered pair. It's always going to be an XY ordered pair. For example, if I have 2, 3, that means I'm going to come out 2 on the x-axis and go up 3 on the y-axis to find my point. The ones that tend to cause students most problems are the ones with zeros involved. For example, 0, -2 versus 2, 0. If it says 0, -2, that means I'm going to stay on the x point of 0. I'm not going to go side to side, and I'm going to go down to -2. On the other hand, if it says 2 and then 0, I'm going to go out 2 on the x-axis, but I'm not going to go up or down at all on the y-axis. So those are the ones you really want to watch for. All right, so we're going to be doing some graphing, and graphing is really just pictures of solutions to equations. Two key points on graphs of lines, and actually graphs of all kinds of equations, are the intercepts. So we have x-intercepts and y-intercepts. The x-intercept is going to be where we're crossing the x-axis. So if you're thinking about what we just talked about, that means that to stay on the x-axis, I'm not going to let y go anywhere. I have to keep y equal to 0. On the other hand, if I want to know where am I crossing the y-axis, then I'm not going to go side to side at all as far as the x's. So in this case, the x has to be 0. So in homework or any other situation where you need to figure out where is this graph or this, whatever the equation is, crossing the axes, the x-axis or the y-axis, you're going to be putting a 0 in for one of your variables and then solving. That's really all there is to it. So here's a quick example with a line. If I have the equation 2x plus 3y equals 18, and I want to graph using the intercepts, well, I say, okay, x-intercept means I want to stay on this x-axis, so I can't go up or down. That means I need to keep the y value equal to 0. So I plug that into my formula up here and solve that linear equation and get the point 90. So way out here on the x-axis, I'm graphing 90. Then I want to do the same thing, but on the y-axis, so this time I have to keep the x from going anywhere, so I'm going to let the x be 0. And when I do that and I solve the equation, I get 0, 6. So I've got this nice line. Now if you're doing homework, or especially if you're doing any kind of a quiz or a test, you want to make sure that you're kind of, in the right ballpark. You didn't do any kind of silly arithmetic error. So if you want to go ahead and graph it, you could, but if you use your graphing calculator, you have to solve for y. The other thing you could do is say, okay, well, what if x was maybe 2? If x was 2, I have 4 plus 3y, so that would be 3y equals 14. If I divide by 3, 14 divided by 3 is a little bit over 4. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, just a little bit over 4 is where I would have my point. So you can check it manually or you can put it in your calculator. All right, here's one more. I also want to be able to graph by just making a table of values. So here's an equation, and I went ahead and I picked one that had a fraction in it. So I have y equals 2/3 x minus 4. I can pick any x I want to plug in here, but when I get my answers, I want them to be nice numbers. I can't figure out exactly where 1/2 or 1/3 or 1 whatever is on my grid, so I want to use whole numbers only. And a really safe thing to do is to say, you know what, let's look at this denominator here and let's use multiples of that. So if you look at my chart here, I use 0 because that's easy, and then 3 because it's a multiple of 3, 6 multiple of 3, or -3. You can go in the negative direction as well. Now you plug that into your formula that you're given. The first one's pretty simple because anytime you plug 0 in, it's simple. And I can do my work and I come up with the point 0, -4. For 3, I'm going to do 2/3 of 3. Now you can do this on your calculator. So if you're struggling with fractions, do 2/3 times 3 on your calculator. You'll realize it's 2 minus 4, and then we'll simplify the result to -2. and so on until I have at least 3 points as a check for if I feel ambitious. So now I've got my line here. Because of my system of graphing, my line doesn't quite hit all my points, but you get the idea. You can graph this one very easily on a graphing calculator and then look at the table of values as well. I hope that helps with graphing.